When a small community experiences an event in life that is out of the ordinary, where they can find no rational explanation, they can often gather together and stoke each other's fears, especially if the event happened in the 19th century. The following event happened in Devon and Dorset, England in 1855, when the community became panicked when they awoke to find strange hoofmarks in the snow. The following phenomenon occurred during February 1855 around East and South Devon and Dorset in England. After a heavy snowfall, trails of hoof-like marks appeared in the snow, covering a long distance. The footprints were so called because some people believed that they were the tracks of Satan, as they were allegedly made by a cloven hoof, and became known as the Devil's Footprints. To the country people in that area, there was no doubt that the cause of the footprints had been made by the hooves of the devil, as hysteria started to grow. The weird prints began in the middle of a garden in the parish of Totnes, and ended up mysteriously as they started in a field in Littleham. In one village, they led into a shed and out the other side. In some places, the marks seemed to have been made by hooves in the frozen snow. Near the village of Dawlish, the trail led into dense bracken and undergrowth. When dogs were brought in to flush out whatever was in the thicket, they're said to have run out howling. Something had terrified them. These footprints, most of which were measured about 4 inches long, 3 inches across, and between 8 and 16 inches apart, and mostly in a single file, were reported from more than 30 locations across Devon and Dorset. It was estimated that the total distance of the tracks amounted to between 40 and 100 miles. Houses, rivers, haystacks and other obstacles were travelled straight over, and footprints appeared on the tops of snow-covered roofs and high walls which land the footprints' path, as well as leading up to and exiting various drain pipes as small as 4 inches in diameter. After a very heavy snowfall in the neighbourhood of Exeter and the south of Devon, on the following morning, the inhabitants of the above towns were also surprised at discovering the footmarks of some strange and mysterious animal. The footprints were also seen in all kinds of unaccountable places, as well as open fields. The area in which the prints appeared extended across Exmouth and far afield as Torquay. However, there was no one source for the hoof marks, where some believed that they were hoaxes, whilst others believed they were made by donkeys or ponies, or some of those found on rooftops could have been made by hopping rodents. But these cannot explain all of the reported marks. The print left behind after a mouse leaps resembles that of a cloven animal due to the motion of its limbs when it jumps. Another explanation was the footprints were from a badger, as this quadruped leaves a surprisingly large footprint compared to its size. Explanations were further stretched when a report was circulated that a couple of kangaroos had escaped from a private menagerie, but this explanation and stretching imagination was used to avoid any panic, to distract parishioners concerned about a visit from the devil. Though many accounts were given both rationally and irrationally, the local people were not convinced, and many refused to go out after sunset. Children would hide in cupboards, terrified by the gossip they were hearing. Then on a cold winter night, the devil had walked in Devon. To this day, there was no explanation as to what might have caused the strange footprints.